I don't really care for Ripple. If you saw my polls from the most recent set, I got a play set of Ripple, one of which was an SP. After reading some comments, I feel like I have an obligation to at least give the deck a try. So the goal of this deck is not really to win games, it's just more to enjoy it. This video is going to feel a little bit different. It might feel kind of more like a hate piece at some points, more than a deck tech. So Ripple's ability is that first of all, he's part of a ride chain, which we'll talk about throughout the video. He has the ability that when he hits the Vanguard, if he is the third hit that turn, one of his abilities is that when he hits the Vanguard, if everything in the front row is tapped, you get to look at the top 5 and then add a Ripple to your hand. This is useful because it is pseudo plussing in Aquaforce. It also allows for him to use his Persona Blast ability later on, which is during Limit Break. When this unit attacks, he gets plus 5k, and at the end of the battle, counterblast to Persona Blast, and then restand all of your rear guards. When you look at the ability just straight on, it's a pretty solid ability. The Persona Blast kind of sucks, but he does give you ways of getting to that Persona Blast. The ability activates on attack, so that means if you heal, your ability will still go off, and he doesn't need to hit for the restanding to activate. I don't hate Ripple, but I don't really like his design, physically or playstyle wise. I don't really care for the marine looking guys. I'm more of a dragon dude, kind of like the opposite of Solemn. I'm also not really a fan of like wave attacking. So when you have turns where you have to attack more than like 4 times, because like in this deck, for example, Ripple doesn't give power. So that means at any point when a hit happens, is less than likely that another hit will happen because of defensive triggers. And just like the 5k power that Zero gives on hit just kind of makes Aquaforce really awkward for me. Luckily for me, my little monkey brain, Ripple just needs to be the third attack and then the multi-attack comes after. You don't have to do any kind of crazy restanding before his attack. Originally, I was playing 4 Transcore Dragons because I really like him. Like, he's kind of the opposite of Ripple. His design is cool. He carries around like a fucking anchor as a weapon. The discarding is like such a fun play design where it's like kind of luck based, but it's still like a form of advantage for you. Sadly though, he doesn't work with Ripple. See, Ripple wants to be ridden early. This way he can start getting that little plussing from his on-hit ability. This obviously fights with Transcore because Transcore wants to be ridden first, so then you can ride on top of him. But Ripple also doesn't really care for the plus 10k or the discarding. The discarding, I guess he doesn't hate, but the plus 10k doesn't really matter because he will usually be the first hit on Vanguard, so his power doesn't really matter. Once I took Transcord out, it was kind of obvious that Glory had to kind of be the fill-in slot then. We're using Glory just for the additional win con. The Limit Break 5 makes it a little hard, but it's still a very consistent way of getting past the opponent's PGs. I think I've definitely won more games when I've ridden to Glory rather than Ripple. And now the part of the deck that I was actually excited to play was Ravon. Same thing as Transcore, his design is just cool. He has a sword. How many like water dragons has a sword? Ravon is just like an easy card to use. He just has to be the last attack. And sometimes a +1 crit is all you need to win a game. I actually really like the grade 2 Ripple. He has the ability that when he hits the Vanguard, one of your units gets plus 3k. And if he's on top of the grade 3 Ripple, then you can also restand that card. The restanding is kind of hard to get off unless you are going second and your opponent has an interceptor, in which case you can send rearguard at rearguard, Vanguard at Vanguard, restand rearguard boosted, then can hit Vanguard because the plus 3k just kind of makes it a little bit easier. But in most cases, you're mainly just going to be using him to get the plus 3k to a unit. This way it just kind of hits for more magic numbers. Now, Algos is like one of the marine characters I actually kind of like. He doesn't really mesh with the Maelstrom strategy since Maelstrom wants to be the last attack. But within Ripple, the rearguards will usually be the last attack, which means he will be the 4th attack without having to do any kind of crazy restanding and counterblasting. I really like the seal, both playstyle and just how cute he is. Him being able to give a recurring plus 2k, I think is a very cool thing within Ripple. Because what you can do is you tap him, tap maybe a second or even a third to give a unit a lot of power. Then when the Ripple play goes off and everything restands, that unit is now huge and it has a booster with the seal. Even just as a simple he's in one column and you need to turn a 7k grade 1 into a 9k to hit over an interceptor is very useful, I think. I see a lot of people playing the Seahorse, which is just as good. I just prefer the Seal because the Seal's cuter. Now with the rest of the deck, Naval Gazer's in here just as a 1-up, just to fill in the grade 3 slot because he kind of does the whole restanding strategy the rest of the deck wants to do. 1 Gemini Clone just to give us some plussing so maybe we can get to a Ripple on an early turn. And 1 Penguin Soldier. Penguin Soldier is kind of hard because you never want to Soul Blast your Ride Chain. If you ever have to go for a Glory, then the Soul is useless, so get as much plussing from that as you want. Now, did my opinion change? Yeah, kinda. I lost so many games when I first started playing. When I got to rank 1, I told myself, okay, I will play this deck until I get to rank 2. And I was there for like almost a week. I'm only at rank 3 right now and the season's almost over. Once I started understanding the flow of the deck, wins started coming in. Honestly, I started just playing a slow game, which is weird when playing like an aggro clan like Aquaforce. I would just like poke them with Ripple, and then late game, I would either do the restand and do a finishing turn, or I would have rode Glory and just go past any PGs in their hand. As you probably noticed, this was not really like a typical deck where I tell you how to play the deck or how to make improvements to yours. This is more of, I just wanted to share the deck I'm playing, the experiences I had. Even though I had fun near the end playing Ripple, I don't think I'll play it again outside of like some like friendly matches. I can have more fun playing other clans and get more consistent wins, I think. Yeah, to be honest, like I'll probably be playing Dauntless for the foreseeable future. I never know how to end these. Support triple rare. That's all I got. Oh, yeah.